drum has lost its beat.
Our drum has lost its
There's displacement under our feet.
displacement under our feet.
Tamburo, predicators, nous sortis nous des paysans. Tamburo, predicators, nous sortis nous des paysans. Nous des paysans, tamburo, predicators, nous sortis nous des paysans. Our drum has lost its beat. There's displacement under our feet.
As we walk
Along these foreign lands, we will find a home again. As we walk along these foreign lands, we will find a home again. Found a home, our home isn't confined to a place. Found a home, our home isn't confined to a place. It's a warm embrace. It's a warm embrace. It's a community. It's a warm embrace. Find a home again. Our memories will never die. If we sing the rhythms of our past, si nous chercher, tambours enseignent again souvenir comme Jean-Petit. Si nous chercher, tambours enseignent si nous chercher, It's in our journey we find a home, embracing change and sharing God. Let the tears of anguish run dry. Our life is here, our home is here. It's in our journey we find a home. It's in our journey we find a home. It's in our journey we find a home. Our life is here, our home is
has found its beat. Listen to the rhythms of our feet. Our drum has found its beat. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum.
We found a home again.
Tamanure planka dance, tamanure planka dance, tamanure planka dance. Sabadabadab, sabadabadab, plum. Tamanure planka dance, tamanure planka dance, tamanure planka dance. Sabadabadab, plum, 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 plum.
We found a home again. We found a home again. We found a home again.
Well, thank you to the Boston's Children Chorus and welcome all to Mira's 34th annual Give Liberty a Hand. My name is Lydia Edwards. I'm the District City Councilor for Boston's District 1, East Boston, Charlestown, and the North End. And I'm a longtime fan of Mira, having worked with the organization, having supported the organization, and absolutely being continually inspired by all the work that Mira has done for so many people and generations. I'm going to be your MC today, guiding you throughout our program and inviting you many, many times to make a donation to this wonderful organization. For all of you watching us from home, know that your support matters and that your every dollar raised today will go directly to programs assisting immigrants and refugee communities throughout the Commonwealth. I wanted to also acknowledge elected officials who may be joining us tonight. Senator Sally Domenico and Senator Jamie Eldridge, and as others join us tonight, I will also acknowledge them. But to get us started, I would love to welcome John Willshire-Carrera, President and Chair of Mira Board of Directors, and also my former colleague from Greater Boston Legal Services. John?
Good evening. Thank you, Councilor Edwards, for being with us today at MCC Mira's flagship fundraiser. It has been 34 years since Mira started this tradition, and as chair of the board of directors, I would like to welcome and thank each and every one of you for joining us today virtually. It means so much to have community members, organizers, and supporters like you every year, and I hope you know Mira's work would not be possible without you. I also want to thank our host committee and Mira's staff for putting together a wonderful event, as well as our board of directors for bringing passion and expertise every time we meet. It has been an honor serving as chair, and I look forward to what is ahead for us this coming year. As I'm sure you know, Eva Millona, Mira's president and CEO for over 12 years, and a member of Mira's staff for 20 years, has just left Mira to serve as an assistant secretary at DHS with the Biden-Harris administration. After enduring 4 years of dysfunction and attacks, we now look forward to the major initiatives of this new administration. In fact, the recent TPS designation to Haitians in the U.S. as of the 21st of this month gives us great hope. Now, the Guatemalans, including the Mayan Guatemalans, need TPS protection as well. Mira, as always, will be a strong voice for the immigrant communities of the Commonwealth and more broadly of New Hampshire and New England. While all of us at Mira are sad to see Eva go, we are proud to have someone of her caliber and knowledge of the needs and strengths of our communities working within DHS and the Biden administration. Eva, you have a long history of being a true champion for immigrants across this country. We wish you the best in your new endeavors. Make sure you give them trouble, make good trouble, and you give them hell. As Mira begins to search for its next leader, does this person have some big shoes to fill? We are happy to report that Mira is in great hands with a strong leadership team, board of directors, and our new interim president and CEO, Myran Parker-Brass. Myran has over 30 years of experience working in the nonprofit world and has been acting COO for Mira since October of last year, assisting the team in operation matters. We are confident that Myran, working together with the Mira leadership team and the Mira staff, will produce a smooth and meaningful transition. We will keep you up to date with the developments of the executive search as they become available. On behalf of the board of directors, I conclude by again welcoming each and every one of you to the gala. Thank you for your tireless advocacy and support for our immigrant communities and our endeavors. I want to also congratulate our honorees for being incredible allies to our mission, our struggles, and our future. Thank you for all you do. It is now my pleasure to introduce you to our new president and CEO, Myran Parker-Brass. Thank you, Myran, for everything you have done so far and for what you're doing now. Black lives matter, brown lives matter, indigenous lives matter.
Thank you, John, and good evening, everyone. It's an honor to serve as interim CEO for MIRA and to welcome you this evening to Give Liberty a Hand. I want to thank our board, our wonderful co-chairs, Amy Merrill and Scott FitzGerald, and the entire host committee. I also want to extend my gratitude to this year's signature sponsors for your generous support, which makes this event possible. And of course, to our wonderful MC, Counselor Lydia Edwards. Lastly, I want to congratulate this year's honorees, Senate President Karen Spilka, Gladys Vega, Executive Director of La Colaborativa, and Tom O'Brien, co-founder of the Massachusetts Business Immigration Coalition. MIRA continues to be a powerful influence at the local, state, and federal levels, improving the livelihoods of more than 1 million immigrants and refugees in the Commonwealth and across New England. Even through an incredibly difficult year marked by inequity, sickness, and violence, MIRA rose to the challenge. Our coalition pushed for critical legislation that provided direct relief for immigrant and refugee families, community organizations, and small businesses that needed it most. MIRA led the charge to create accessible information in over 16 languages, which provided critical support and guidance for all our communities throughout the pandemic. We have become a beacon of information to the immigrant community, and we see on a daily basis the impact of our advocacy and work. So again, my thanks to each of you for joining us this evening and for your continued unwavering support for the well-being of our immigrant and refugee communities. Now, we'd like to share remarks from our former president and CEO, Eva Millona.
Good evening, my dear friends, colleagues, coalition members, and MIRA supporters. I wish I could be here in person with you tonight, but I couldn't leave without a few words to express my deep gratitude and appreciation for you all. My deepest thanks to our wonderful event committee members and to outstanding co-chairs Amy Merrill and Scott FitzGerald. Your support and leadership have been invaluable in making tonight's event such a great success. And thanks to all the sponsors and individual donors who stepped up this year and throughout my time at MIRA. By investing in our mission, you've enabled us to accomplish great things, even in these very difficult last years. I also want to thank the tireless MIRA staff, board, and all our MIRA members who work with us day after day, year after year, to make Massachusetts a more welcoming, more inclusive, and more just Commonwealth where people from all over the world can thrive. I am so incredibly proud for all we've done together, from our vision for full immigrant inclusion to our legislative campaigns to our extraordinary mobilization during the pandemic. As you know, MIRA has a unique role among immigrant advocates. It works both outside the system with grassroots advocates and within it, providing direct input to elected officials and state and city agencies. It can be a balancing act, but we've succeeded because we built trusting relationships and found great partners. Give Liberty a Hand, it's a celebration of people making a difference for immigrants and refugees in Massachusetts. I want to recognize tonight's 3 special honorees and congratulate them. Madam President Spilka, thank you for your outstanding leadership, for showing immigrants that their voices were truly being heard at the State House. Thank you for making them feel safe. I will be forever grateful to you. Tom O'Brien, it's because of you that we have the Massachusetts Business Immigration Coalition. Your commitment, your vision, your leadership. I hope you realize how deeply you are appreciated. And Gladys Vega, what can I say? You were amazing well before the pandemic devastated Chelsea. What you've done since then, it's simply extraordinary. Both the safety net you built for the community and your powerful advocacy. Congratulations to the 3 of you. I am going to miss you all so much. I have so many treasure friends here. I have learned so much from you. I am so proud that together we built a vision for true equality and full integration for new Americans that I know will live on at Myra in all of you. This has been an incredible journey. This has been a labor of love. Thank you for the privilege of serving with you for all these years. You'll always be in my heart, and I know that we'll stay in touch, united by our common values and vision. Have a good night and enjoy the event.
Well, thank you so much, Eva. You have been an inspiration to many of us over the years, including myself. And we will deeply miss you. We will miss you at more tables than you probably know, and places where you have carried our voices and our concerns. We know that you're going to carry us in your heart, though, all the way to DC. You won't forget where you come from, and you won't forget who you're fighting for. So thank you so much for all that you've done for Myra, for the immigrants of Massachusetts. Thank you so much. I want to now introduce our first honoree, and to help us here is Lino Covarrubias, Executive Director of the Jewish Family Services of Metro West.
Good evening. Buenas noches. Erev Tov. My name is Lino Covarrubias, and I'm the CEO of Jewish Family Service of Metro West, JFS for short. I have the distinct honor of introducing this evening's first honoree. I want to first thank Eva and her entire staff at Myra for this honor. As a first-generation son of Mexican immigrants, I'm especially excited to be here tonight. I love the name of the gala, Give Liberty a Hand. As many of us know, at the base of the Statue of Liberty, there is a poem which in part reads, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." Whether immigrants arrive to our shores through a refugee program, an asylum program, or the many other ways an individual or families immigrate to our country, we welcome them with open arms. Then the real work starts. Being an immigrant is not easy. It is a constant struggle. Families need our help, our helping hand, to make the American success dream possible for them. Tonight is a celebration of those champions that exemplify what it means to give immigrants in our Commonwealth a helping hand. I know of no better example of such a champion for immigrants than Senate President Karen Spilka. Just a bit of her bio. Representing the Metro West communities of the 2nd Middlesex and Norfolk District, comprised of Ashland, Framingham, Franklin, Holliston, Hopkinton, Medway, and Natick, Senate President Spilka is dedicated to the advancement of progressive social causes and a pragmatic fiscal policy of balancing investments in education, infrastructure, and economic opportunity with saving for the future. She has championed issues as mental health, juvenile justice, services for the elderly and disabled communities, and of course, a commitment to the success of immigrants. Senate President Spilka is a graduate of Northeastern Law School, holds a Bachelor of Science in Social Work from Cornell University. She has been married for over 30 years to Joel Leuthterstein, a wonderful man, I know him very well, an environmental engineer, and has 3 adult children, Heather, Scott, Jake, and 2 rescue dogs, Lincoln and Mikasa. On a personal note, not only is she my senator in Metro West, she's a friend and a great supporter of JFS and many other agencies that every day make it our mission to more than just embrace our immigrants, but more importantly, be there every step of the way to help them. As my abuelita, my grandmother of blessed memory, would say, "Sí se puede," it can be done. Thank you, Karen, for your continued caring and focus to make the American dream possible for every immigrant family in our Commonwealth. A hearty congratulations, felicidades, and mazel tov.
Lino, thank you so much for that wonderful and lovely introduction. I'd like to say the feelings are mutual with you as well, so thank you. Your leadership of Jewish Family Services and your commitment to the entire Metro West, all of the communities, is just incredible, especially this past year. And speaking of communities, thank you to Myra for welcoming me into your community this evening. The people who make up this community, including the staff, the board of directors at MIRA, are all extraordinary. You are a light for our immigrant and refugee communities. For so many months, you were called upon to shine bright in what we knew was darkness for a while. And the fact that we are still meeting virtually reminds us we're not out of the woods completely yet, but there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is getting closer. So thank you so much for all your hard work and dedication. Thanks also to the Boston Children's Chorus. That was wonderful to hear them sing. Very uplifting, great start to this event. And We Found a Home Again was a wonderful sentiment to start this event as well. I am thrilled to be recognized as one of this year's Give Liberty a Hand honoree with this exquisite award. It is absolutely spectacular. Thank you. The name of this event is a stark reminder of what so many who come to this Commonwealth and this country are seeking. Liberty is what my grandfather was seeking when he fled Russia, the only home he ever knew, fearful that his religious and his political beliefs would make him a target of the Tsar. Unlike his best friend, who he woke up one morning finding his best friend hanging in the town square, my grandfather made it out alive. And if it was not for America's welcoming embrace, there is a very good chance that he and his family would not have survived. And if it was not for his courage and his quest for liberty and his love for his new community and all that it stood for, I simply would not be here today. These life-affirming generational stories of immigrants and our contributions are echoed every single day. And we as a Commonwealth, I believe very strongly, should be extending a helping hand and welcome them with open arms. Immigrants make Massachusetts stronger, period. It's as simple as that. And I know that all of us agree with that sentiment, but it needs to be said. Sometimes it needs to be said over and over. We know that immigrants are more than just essential workers. They are essential caregivers and stewards of our economic vitality. We know this pandemic has hit immigrant communities hard, and particularly women, many of whom are the backbone of our child and our healthcare workers and our workforce. As Senate President, I believe that it is time to just reimagine what Massachusetts can be for them and how we can make it better. We can lift up those who have historically had our backs, made us stronger, and ensure that immigrants feel connected and supported. I believe immigrant communities are key to our recovery and play a crucial part in the conversation in how we shape our future. Thankfully, we have someone who shares these beliefs heading to Washington. Eva and those that have spoken before me have spoken about all the wonderful accomplishments she has made thus far. I wish you the very best as you embark on this new chapter with the Biden-Harris administration at the Department of Homeland Security. Thank you so much for your partnership and collaboration over the years. You will be missed, but I do know you're in a good spot to help Massachusetts and the rest of the country move forward. So thank you. In closing, I want to again thank Mira for this recognition this evening and for all of your advocacy on behalf of the immigrant and refugee community. Congratulations to tonight's other honorees as well. And as we continue the hard work of recovery, please remember my physical and my virtual door is always open. Thank you again for this wonderful award. Thank you for supporting Mira. Good night.
Well, thank you, Madam Senate President, and congratulations on such a wonderful recognition. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you this year's Give Liberty a Hand co-chair, producer, and playwright, Amy Merrill.
Good evening. Thank you, Councillor Edwards. My name is Amy Merrill, and with Scott FitzGerald, I am pleased to be your co-chair for tonight's Give Liberty a Hand 2021 virtual event. I want to add my personal thanks to the Mira board, staff, and 130 plus partner organizations who fight every day for the rights and dignity of refugees and immigrants in Massachusetts. Thanks also to sponsors Eastern Bank, Fragaman Worldwide, and Nike Social Innovation Fund. Like everyone tonight, I'm here to celebrate Mira's accomplishments, but also I'm here to witness change and transformation as Eva Millona leaves Mira to take her big job with the Biden-Harris administration. This is a big opportunity for Eva, and we are so proud of you, Eva. We will miss you. I will miss you. I personally want to welcome Myran Parker-Brass, Mira's new acting president and CEO. Welcome, Myran. Eva and I have figured that we met somewhere in 2014 when we were both part of a group of worthy women who were assembled at Cambridge College to meet newly elected Representative Catherine Clark. I liked my new Congresswoman, but I was really impressed by Eva, and I continue to be impressed by her. Since then, Eva and I have become friends, and I assure you, whether it's giving expert advice on some new Albanian in-laws or planning with Mary Lassen, who's here tonight, that 2020 campaign trip to Colorado that never happened, Eva can be a lot of fun. Moreover, I know that Eva's pizzazz, her glamour, her sense of fun and adventure, as well as her leadership experience and first-rate communication skills will be very much appreciated by Secretary Mayorkas and the folks at DHS. Thanks to Eva, the Department of Homeland Security is just classier. And now I'd like to welcome our second talent piece for tonight, poet Alex Martinez, a native of Mexico who came to the US in 2005 as an undocumented minor. Alex now resides in Kansas City. Javier tells me that he met Alex when they were both Dream Lead Fellows at Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas. Now Alex is writing and publishing. Their first book, Disclosure, Confessions of a Queer in Crisis, was published in 2018. Alex also performs with Resistencia, a brown group of queer poets. Alex, we're so excited to welcome you here tonight. Your words of pain and understanding are so important to us now. Welcome, Alex.
Hello, I'm Alex Martinez. I'm a poet, and I will be sharing two of them. The first one is called Una promesa que no llega. No one wants to cross a fence lined with spikes of brutal enforcement. No one wants to land en las espinas de un nopal que se entierran en tu alma y se quedan ahí escondidas debajo de la piel de un humilde cuerpo que repite la palabra ayúdame. No one wants to say ayúdame until they have to, or until they land on that wrong side of that fence. No one wants to starve, ni comer patriotismo sagrado y promesas de un mejor país que no llega. No one wants to purposely walk into a valley of fire knowing you can't get past the checkpoints. The rivers can't save us. They don't run sideways these days. No one wants to burn under the same sun they worship once. No one wants to leave a nation behind, but no one wants to be left behind. So we leave because we are promised that we were no longer going to be invisible. We leave only to be seen. My next poem is called Taqueria. The cha-ching of the register plays over and over, like the lies we tell ourselves when we are content. Loud norteño music plays from the rusted speakers in the corner. There they sit, wasted, like flowers decorating an accountant's office. The machine sweats vibrant colors, agua de Jamaica, tamarindo, y horchata. It spits them out to a cup of an excited child, like the desert spits out immigrants. The walls are painted in a light pink, but there's pain hidden beneath it. I can see it, I can feel it, and I can smell it. This taqueria was built by foreigners, soñadores que no se dieron por vencidos, dreamers that crossed an invisible border, hoping to be free, wishing for a new chance. The meat is churned repeatedly by the men in red. La carne de asada smells transports you back to a forgotten country where you were born. There, in awe of all the possibilities, you realize that these dreamers made it, and so can you.
That was incredible, Alex. Those were wonderfully powerful, beautifully delivered words and a message that speaks directly to the heart of so many of us. So I want to thank you for that. Before I pass it on to our second co-chair of the event, I want to welcome everyone who just joined us. And I want to welcome you not to be shy and to please go to the donate button. It's necessary that we remind you to support Mira throughout the event, but especially to continue to give. Every little bit helps and every dollar goes directly to our services. And you can find the link in the chat, and you can also see the link as it's been posted right now. So, okay, let's keep it moving. And to help us get there, I'd like to introduce you to our second co-chair of our event, Scott FitzGerald.
Thank you, Councilor Edwards, for that kind introduction. It is my distinct pleasure to be here today and an honor to serve as co-chair of this event, alongside renowned playwright, producer, and author, Amy Merrill. Year after year, Mira continues to be a beacon of hope for so many in our state. 2020 was a difficult year for all of us, but despite the unique challenges of COVID, Mira and its staff were able to accomplish numerous legislative victories in the critical work of ensuring the well-being of millions of immigrants here in New England. I would be remiss if I did not express my sincere gratitude to Eva Millona. Eva introduced me, my family, and my firm to Mira, and it has been an absolute pleasure to help Eva and Mira pursue a vision of immigrant equality and a welcoming community here in New England. We know that Eva will bring her tireless energy, insight, and passion to Washington, where it is needed more now than ever. Thank you, Eva. But MIRA is not an island. Instead, it is one of many public interest organizations working tirelessly on behalf of our immigrant communities. All throughout New England, numerous small but dedicated and effective community organizations provide such support. It is in that regard that I introduce our second honoree this evening, Gladys Vega, and the organization that she runs, La Collaborativa, formerly known as the Chelsea Collaborative. La Collaborativa continues to play a critical role in providing support to immigrants in Chelsea and across Massachusetts. Throughout the pandemic, their numerous initiatives, such as Feeding Chelsea, help to address overwhelming food insecurity within the immigrant community. Through this program, La Collaborativa established a weekly food distribution pop-up, which provided groceries, diapers, and other household items and personal necessities to those in need. At the height of the pandemic, the Feeding Chelsea program fed over 3,000 community members each week. For over 30 years, Gladys's service has been invaluable to the growth and well-being of immigrants in Chelsea and beyond, and an inspiration throughout our region. In furtherance of MIRA's mission to empower Latinx immigrants to enhance the social and economic health of our community and its people, we are proud to recognize the work of Gladys and La Collaborativa. They have been a true lifeline for immigrants and those hardest hit by the pandemic, and Gladys continues to fight every day on their behalf. Based on those tremendous efforts, Gladys was named a 2020 Bostonian of the Year by the editors of the Boston Globe. And on behalf of MIRA, I am proud to present our Community Hero Award to the Executive Director of La Collaborativa, Gladys Vega. Congratulations, Gladys.
To the board members of MIRA and the executive director, Eva Millona, you will be missed. Thank you so much for this amazing award. Remember that everything we do it with love for our community and our commitment to immigration reform. Muchísimas gracias. Dios te bendiga. Gracias por este homenaje, por reconocer el trabajo que hacemos en nuestra comunidad inmigrante de Chelsea. Gracias.
I couldn't think of a more Gladys thing to do besides to, accept an award while doing incredible community work. But that's Gladys and that's her heart. And forgive me if I embellish a little bit. I've had the opportunity to work with her for over 12 years and to see her passion, her fire, her grace, and her ability to bring people to the table to understand that we have no other choice but social justice and to keep moving forward. That's Gladys Vega. And I'm just so proud, and I wanted to just echo my incredible pride in her as a woman of color, and what she's been able to do and the power that she's been able to give to so many of us. So thank you so much, Gladys. I really appreciate everything you've done. Thank you also to Scott for your hard work, and I appreciate also all that you've done for the immigrant community as well. So I would like now to invite Senator Markey and Senator Warren to share a few words.
Thank you for the opportunity to address the MIRA Coalition's annual Give Liberty a Hand Gala. I'm Senator Ed Markey, and while I'm disappointed that we can't all be together in person, I'm very grateful that MIRA has yet again adapted this event so that we can celebrate their great achievements safely and virtually. It was my distinct privilege to be named an honoree at Give Liberty a Hand in 2018. I've worked alongside MIRA since I began my career in public service back years and years ago, continuing throughout my time in Congress. And I've seen firsthand the power of MIRA's commitment to advancing the rights and inclusion of all immigrants and refugees in Massachusetts. And I've been proud to stand with them in the fights for a pathway to citizenship and ultimately a new deal for new Americans, the establishment of an office for new Americans, and so much more, for DACA recipients, for temporary protected status, for everyone, all 11 million immigrants into our country. There should be a pathway to citizenship. That is what we must stand for and accomplish over the next 2 years. This evening, we come together to celebrate Mira's legacy of advocacy on behalf of immigrants and refugees, particularly throughout the devastating COVID-19 pandemic. But tonight is also a night to recognize our many partners and friends who make this work possible. And I'd like to extend my heartfelt congratulations once again to Eva Millona for her steadfast leadership and Mira's 2021 honorees, Senate President Karen Spilka, Gladys Vega of La Collaborativa in Chelsea, and Tom O'Brien of HYM Investment Group. In order to build a 21st century immigration system, we need a diverse coalition that unites community organizations, activists, elected officials, and business leaders. When we stand together, we maximize our potential to create lasting change. And this shared commitment is what brings us all together tonight. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak to you and congratulate all of the people who work at Mira and to all of the 2021 honorees. And I look forward to continuing to partner with you as we work to ensure our nation is safe and inclusive for everyone, especially immigrant and refugee communities. Have a great rest of your evening. This is a night to celebrate all of the great work that you do.
Good evening. I would much rather be with you in person at the Give Liberty a Hand Gala, but I'm afraid we're going to have to do this by video. The Massachusetts Immigrant and Refugee Advocacy Coalition uses its powerful voice to protect the rights of immigrants and refugees in our communities. And I'm so glad to have this opportunity to send along a heartfelt congratulations to this year's honorees. Senate President Karen Spilka, Gladys Vega of La Collaborativa, and Tom O'Brien of HYM Investment Group. Thank you all for the important work that you're doing to help new Americans integrate into our communities and to protect the rights of immigrants all across Massachusetts. I also want to give a special shout out to Eva Millona for her years of service at Mira. I look forward to continuing our partnership, Eva, as you head to your new role in Washington, and I know you're going to do great work here. Immigration is deeply personal to me. My son-in-law is an immigrant. He came here as a young man looking for a better life. He got an education, he worked hard, he became a citizen and a real contributor to this country. So many families around our nation have this same story. And it is a story that many American families told a generation ago, a generation before that, a generation before that, and so on. We are a country made strong by our diversity and our willingness to open our hearts and our minds to people from around the world. Immigrants have played a leading role in the American story, and they are an essential part of the fabric of our Commonwealth and our nation. We must continue to be a country that welcomes people who are seeking freedom and opportunity for themselves and their families. This is about our values and about who we are as a people. Mira's work strengthens our Commonwealth and our nation, and I'm committed to doing my part in the Senate to support you. So, thank you for all you do. Congratulations to tonight's honorees, and enjoy the celebration. Keep up the terrific work. It is an honor to be able to fight alongside you.
Well, thank you, Senator Warren and Senator Markey, for your incredibly kind words and for your leadership in DC. I would like to now introduce a new face at Mira, our Development Director, Javier Juarez.
Thank you, Councilor Edwards. Incredible job emceeing today. Good evening, everyone. My name is Javier Juarez, and I am the Development Director here at Mira. I wanted to personally thank you for being here with us today. And I also wanted to take and share my gratitude to our Board of Directors and our host committee for guiding the work forward. And of course, our transformation sponsors, like the Merrill Family Charitable Foundation, Ron Kermish at Bain, and the Nike Community Impact Funds. Also, big thank you to our innovation sponsors, Eastern Bank, who is representing today in the audience, Bob Rivers, Carolyn Crowley, Nancy Fager, and of course, the Fragment team and Scott FitzGerald. This year, we had a record number of sponsors, and we are so happy to be able to recognize your work and your support throughout all of Mira's events into 2021. Today is just the beginning. I cannot be here today without acknowledging the remarkable work of my ex-boss, Eva Millona, who I know is probably watching this from somewhere. For 20 years, Eva made Mira what it is today, and her contributions to the advancement of all immigrants in the state and across the country are undeniable. And I strongly believe that it is due to this advocacy work that I am here today. 20 years ago, I was 12, living a completely different life as an undocumented person with my family separated. This is why our work means so much to me, because in fact, it helped many like me succeed. But we know that the work is not done. I am happy to see Eva in her new role in Washington, DC, and proud to have someone of her caliber represent our community. Eva, I wish you the best of luck on your new role, and know that me and the team will continue to fight for your vision of an immigration system that empowers, respects, and includes all immigrants. Your wise words that there is no recovery without immigrants will continue ringing through our office for a very long time. While we're sad to see you go, I want everyone watching today to know that we have an incredible team at the helm. I want to quickly say thank you to all staff for helping this event be successful. And I want to give a special shout out to the leadership team. Amy Grunder, who should run for mayor one day, but you should see her in action, amazing. Jessica Kiko, amazing super lawyer who speaks like 4 different languages and continues to meet, help, and submit citizenship applications amidst the global pandemic, virtual work, and being a mom. Christine Tegenwa, who runs our New Americans Integration Program with over 30 AmeriCorps members. You and your team are amazing and crucial to our work. Of course, our super talented communications team, Carissa, Daniel, and Marcel, that have to keep up with Ava's schedule every day. You are all the true MVPs. Also, a big shout out to our badass director of organizing, Joel Rivera, who facilitates bi-weekly meetings with other 130 Mira member organizations and does it all with love and cariño, care. So this guy is a superhuman. And lastly, we can't forget the team holding it down in New Hampshire, Eva Castillo and Lindsay Schaefer. Thank you for all you do for our neighbors up north. It goes without saying that our work is more important now than ever before. And this is why we must be guided by our coalition family. This coalition is nothing but incredible, with super talented staff working every day to help their community. Partners like the Brazilian Worker Center and Brazilian Women's Group, which also served as test and vaccine sites throughout the pandemic. To our civic engagement partners like Beth Wang at the Mass Voter Table and the Chinese Progressive Association, cranking thousands of calls to register people to the census and making sure underrepresented voters were involved in the 2020 election, which in fact was the most successful election cycle yet. They contacted over 54,000 voters to be involved. And I know the work is ongoing. I'm going to do a quick rapid shout out to all the organizations who are doing incredible work, and I hope to share more about them throughout the year. Organizations like Whittier Street Health Center, Haitian Americans United, Agencia Alpha, the Worcester Interfaith, Immigrants Assistance Center, Southeast Asian Coalition of Massachusetts, Amplify Lionx, Lawyers for Civil Rights. There's so many, 130. To all of you, thank you. With those formalities out of the way and put aside, I would now like to introduce our final honoree of the night, Tom O'Brien. Tom is the managing partner at the HYM Investment Group and has been influential in the creation of the Massachusetts Business Coalition, a coalition of business leaders focused on advancing federal and state policies that enable talented people from around the world achieve complete economic integration in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We are grateful for his strong advocacy as a business leader and his commitment to the success of immigrants in our economy as workers, consumers, entrepreneurs, investors, residents, and citizens. To our final honoree of the night, Tom O'Brien. Congratulations.
Thank you to the Massachusetts Immigrant and Refugee Advocacy Coalition. Thank you to my friend Eva Millona. Thank you to our host this evening, City Councilor Lydia Edwards. And thank you and welcome to Mira's new Chief Executive Officer, Myran Parker-Brass. While I am sorry that Eva cannot be with us in person tonight, I am so proud of her, and I could not be more pleased that she will be taking on the position that she will be taking on. For anyone who wonders whether elections make a difference in our lives, please consider this. A year ago, we lived in fear of the then leadership of the Department of Homeland Security. At that time, the department was led by a group whose mission it was to make the lives of immigrants and refugees more difficult. And now our Eva will be there in a leadership role, and she will be leading by upholding the values of our nation, the values which affirm that all people deserve respect, and that refugees and immigrants to this great nation deserve our welcome and deserve the protection of the nation of this nation of laws. When Eva suggested a few years ago that we should form the Massachusetts Business Immigration Coalition, she spoke right to our core beliefs. My wife Tricia and I have been blessed with 5 children who are adopted from birthplaces outside of the US. Our children are from Colombia, Guatemala, Ecuador, and Ethiopia. Tricia and I also recognize that what makes this nation truly unique is that the rest of the world sees us as a beacon of hope, a beacon of kindness, and a beacon of opportunity. We may have seen that beacon tarnished a bit during these last 4 years, but the fundamental beliefs of this nation have not changed. And that's why the Business Immigration Coalition matters. Immigration is a bipartisan issue, and we are a nation that can grow and prosper by welcoming new immigrants in a way that no other nation can. So thank you for this kind recognition, and thank you for including my family and I in the wonderful work that we all care so deeply about. I look forward to continuing this work with all of you, and I look forward to cheering on our friend Eva in her new position in Washington, D.C. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening, everybody.
Thank you very much, Tom. We really appreciate your kind words and also your incredible leadership in making sure that businesses also are stakeholders in the fight for immigrant rights and making sure that they are seen and understanding that, as many people have said, much of our economy and much of our future, especially Massachusetts, is dependent on immigrants having a beautiful, safe, healthy home here in our Commonwealth. So we're coming to the conclusion of our event. And I just want to say again, a wonderful, kind reminder to people that this is a fundraiser, and we would love for you to again go to to the link to the chat and to support Myra with a donation. Just to remind you again, as a grassroots organization that is built off of and supported by your donations, every dollar goes to direct services and making sure that immigrants in the Commonwealth have a voice and are seen. And we want to thank again all of the sponsors for tonight. I also want to again congratulate all of the honorees: Senate President Karen Spilka, Executive Director of La Colaborativa, Gladys Vega, and of course, Tom O'Brien from HYM. I also just wanted to again reiterate my thanks and gratitude to Eva for her leadership for so many years. Again, you will be deeply missed. Your leadership, your kind words, and your ability to again set the table inside and outside of the system. That kind of leadership is rare, and we really appreciate it, and it will be deeply missed, but it will continue. The fight will continue at Myra, especially because we're going to continue to support this organization. So with that, I just again want to say thank you all for coming out here tonight. We appreciate you so much, and we'll see you at the next one. Have a good night.